Hello and greetings. In this video, I'll be discussing three topics with you, primarily three topics, but we will discuss some other issues as well. The number one is after thrown under the bus by US, is India going to revisit its foreign policy? And number two is what is the mission of aggressive diplomacy, or what is the mission of following or pursuing aggressive diplomacy by Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi? And number three is, of course, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China trilateral dialogue, and what is the outcome of that dialogue. And I will start with the Chinese foreign minister's visit of three countries in 5 days. First, he visited India, and he met with Indian Foreign Minister Jaishankar. He met with Indian National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, and then finally he called on Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And the meetings were described as fruitful, positive, and both countries agreed to start afresh since both countries were on kind of different path after the skirmishes on Ladakh border area, and they suspended flights, and they stopped issuing visas to each other countries' citizens and businessmen. And the relationship was, or relations were quite strained. But during the visit of the Chinese foreign minister, things have started changing quite dramatically, because as confidence building measures, China has lifted ban on flights, China has lifted ban on Indian visas or Chinese visas to Indian nationals. And then he landed in Afghanistan for holding trilateral talks between Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China. And he held talks with, then the talks were trilateral, then bilateral between China and Afghanistan, then bilateral between Pakistan and Afghanistan, then bilateral between Pakistan and China. So it was a series of talks in Afghanistan with the Afghan interim, or whatever it is, foreign minister. I think he's deputy foreign minister or interim minister, Amir Khan Muttaqi, and the Pakistani deputy prime minister Ishaq Dar, who is also foreign minister of Pakistan. He held talks with both of the gentlemen foreign ministers of China and Afghanistan. And after the talks, Pakistan Foreign Office issued a statement wherein it described the talks as fruitful and positive, and agreeing to combat terrorism, supporting trade, transit trade, and economic development. And the most important announcement was that China, Pakistan wanted Afghanistan to join CPEC, and Afghanistan agreed to be part of CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or you can say Belt and Road Initiative. So this is a very significant development, and both countries, Pakistan and China, emphasized and encouraged, or rather, told them in no uncertain terms that Afghanistan must stop terrorism, and Afghanistan must rein in the terrorist groups that are based in Afghanistan, like Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, TTP, that Khorasan movement. It's Islamic State Khorasan, that is ISK, Tehreek-e-Taliban. East Turkestan Islamic Movement, and Al Qaeda. These all these four terrorist groups are very critical to security of Pakistan and China. Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan or TTP or Islamic State Khorasan or Daesh and Al Qaeda, definitely they are of primary security concerns and critical to Pakistan's security, whereas the East Turkestan Islamic Movement or ETIM is considered to be a major threat to China's security, and because it is active near Xinjiang province of China. So the China is also interested in development of Afghanistan. China is interested in investing in Pakistan, especially in Balochistan, in mineral development and in other projects which are already ongoing. So Afghan government was conveyed a clear message that if it wants to be recognized by the world, or it wants to be recognized by China, Pakistan, and friends of China and Pakistan, then it must rein in all these terrorist outfits. Diplomacy or its diplomatic And there is one other group, that is BLA, Balochistan Liberation Army, which is continuing its terrorist activities in Balochistan. And China and Pakistan believe, and the rest of the world as well, because Pakistan and China have provided proofs and evidence to many countries that India is supporting at least two terrorist groups in Afghanistan in order to carry out terrorist activities within Pakistan, that is BLA, Balochistan Liberation Army, and TTP, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. So it is reported that China has also conveyed its strong concerns or strong message to India during the visit of Chinese foreign minister to when he met his counterpart and national security advisor, that China has very valid economic interest in Balochistan, and India must stop supporting these proxies which are based in Afghanistan, and they are actively carrying out terrorist activities within Pakistan, especially Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So now I will discuss about India's diplomacy. Is India going to revisit its diplomacy or diplomatic policy after being thrown under the bus by America? And this is what we think. But some political observers believe that this is just for a very short term, because Donald Trump is very famous for taking U-turns or backing off or backtracking. Especially, it is expected that Donald Trump might rethink his own policy towards India after, if the Russian and Ukrainian war is over, and after things become normal, Donald Trump will think that India might go to China's lap, India might go to China's bloc, because China is interested in a South bloc led by China itself. So anything can happen in future, but at the moment it seems that India is inclined towards China and Russia, and it still remains to be seen whether India wants a permanent role in that South bloc headed by China, or India wants to. I think there are three options available to India. Either India can stick with America, India can be part of a Quad, and that was formed in order to contain China in South Sea. And we all know that Australia, Japan, America, and India are part of Quad group. So primarily it was formed to contain China, but at the same time, India is part of BRICS, of which India is going to hold presidency by next year in 2026. India is also part of RIC, Russia, India, China group. India is part of SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And Narendra Modi is expected to visit to attend this summit later on in this month, and he is expected to call on or meet Chinese President Xi Jinping. So the second option available to India is to remain as a non-aligned nation, which seems impossible at the moment because the time has come that either you are with us or with others. Either you are with the North Bloc or you are with South Bloc. Either you are with the global North or you are with the global South, which will be headed by China, like I said. And Pakistan is also part of, so far, Pakistan is part of global South. But Pakistan is known for maintaining that delicate balance when it comes to relationship with China and America. India is going to experience its first kind of, phase in its history to keep that balance between, balance of relationship between USA and China. And the third option available to India is that India wholeheartedly revisits its foreign policy or diplomatic policy, whatever you may call it, and joins wholeheartedly the South group and accepts Chinese hegemony. Because India has already conceded so many things to China. I have mentioned it in one of my other videos, previous videos. The boundary issues, India has conceded some of its land to be made a buffer zone. So things are moving in a very interesting phase, to a very interesting phase in a very swift manner. So I think after Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi meeting with the Chinese President, we will see that India will go to what extent to accept China's hegemony, or India wants to remain with America, because so many people in India believe that India should always remain in American camp or European camp, and instead of accepting Chinese hegemony. But on the other hand, right now things are quite different, and Narendra Modi is in a fix. He doesn't know exactly where to go, whether to keep remaining in American camp despite being, antagonized, despite being let down by Donald Trump and American administration, despite being criticized in America or in American administration. But I think this is good for Pakistan, India, and China, because if China can bring close Iran and Saudi Arabia, if China can bring close Afghanistan and Pakistan and make them friends again, and if China is successful to convince Afghanistan to rein in those terrorist groups, and if China is successful to convince India not to support terrorist organization to carry out terrorist activities within Pakistan or inside Pakistan, and if China can bring peace between India and Pakistan, like I said in my previous videos, that it will be good for the people of the both countries, for the benefit of the people of the both countries. They can live in peace, they can trade with each other, and they can have exchanges between different segments of societies Like our journalists can go to India, their journalists can come here, our celebrities can go there, their celebrities are welcome here, and our politicians, our parliamentary delegations should visit India, their parliamentary delegations should visit Pakistan. I mean, people to people contact. Because I know the majority in India and majority in Pakistan is in favor of peace. It's a very small minority that probably promotes rivalry or enmity, and or cricket teams can visit each other's country. This is how you can bring peace with time. But as far as the Indian government is concerned, it is in a fix, like I said before, because Narendra Modi's main narrative is against Pakistan, and he has been winning elections on this narrative. He portrays Pakistan as its biggest enemy, and whereas in Pakistan we do consider India as an enemy, but in Pakistan this is a fact that in Pakistan no political party has ever gone to the extent that it should build a narrative against India in order to win any elections, whether it's a provincial election or a National Assembly election, or for that matter, for their own popularity. Although many of Pakistani prime ministers have invited Indian prime ministers to Pakistan, many of Pakistani prime ministers were invited to India by Indian prime ministers, and some prime ministers have been very critical of Indian prime minister. Like Imran Khan once said that Narendra Modi is a Hitler, and our young politician Bilawal Bhutto Zardari described him as a butcher of Gujarat, and vice versa. On the Indian side, they always, they never used very, respectful language for Pakistani politicians or Pakistani army chiefs. But that is how it is. But things can change. If India agrees, India backs out on its new normal and, the anti-Pakistan narrative, then things can change within months. And I hope things will change. Thanks for watching, and do leave your comment.